Hey everybody, George the Tech, NAMM Show. It's a big show today. With us today here at the Roswell booth, I've got the founder, Matthew McGlynn, and this man is no stranger to making great mics for voiceover.
George the Tech.
And I've heard some good things, Matthew. Tell me some good things about mics for voiceover.
Well, you're too kind, George. Thanks for coming out. Yes, so we're at NAMM Show Day 2. We have built a voiceover mic with Jordan Reynolds that you may remember, the RAVO. We were too small a company for that, what at the time was a niche for us. We just didn't have the marketing budget to convince all of you guys that we had something special. And that was just my mistake. But what we've done at this point is we've made a bunch of microphones that are more of a general purpose intention and kind of arguably backed into the same place we were before, which is we have a really great voiceover microphone that is honestly based on the RAVO. It has, I think, one difference in the circuit. The RAVO had a hardwired high-pass filter. The idea was that you'd be using it pretty close, and so we'd kill the bottom end. We didn't repeat that in the new mic because it doesn't make sense for people who are doing other kinds of things. But this mic here, we call the Mini K87, is our best-selling voiceover mic. So why is this great for voiceover? We actually have a page about this on the website with the very neutral page title, Best Voiceover Microphone. So you can find that there, but it's very neutral and clean. It doesn't try to enhance your voice because, as I think it was Jordan Reynolds who told me, the character comes from my mouth, not my mic. And so this microphone is that. This is very neutral. It captures whatever you put in front of it. And you can put it, as he says, the hang 10 distance away, 6 to 10 inches, depending on how big your hands are, I guess. And it sounds great. Whatever you put out is what this mic captures. So there's no hyped high frequencies. I know there are other brands of mics, even at higher price points, that have like a high shelf boost. So it's as if there's an EQ on the mic and someone reached over to the treble faders and lifted them all up about 4 decibels. Most voices don't need that. A lot of voices sound really bad with that because every little S suddenly is 4 decibels louder than it needs to be. This mic doesn't do that. Very neutral and clean. So if you were to ask me for a recommendation, that's my go-to. And we've literally sold hundreds of those based on recommendations from guys like Joe Ziha, who's an instructor, and several other people who work.
Joe's a client of mine.
Right on.
I designed one of his studios.
So there's a handful of guys who have courses or content or, help update your studio who have been recommending the Mini K87 to clients.
Well, also, it's a really friendly price point, obviously. Under 500, 429 MRS.
Yeah.
And it's physically small, which is really nice.
It is.
In a small booth, to not have a monstrous microphone.
Yeah.
It's easier to position. It doesn't
obscure the script.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you need a shock mount with a mic like that for a voiceover, or typically not?
Do you need one? Probably not.
Yeah.
But it's actually $439, but it includes a shock mount. You don't see them here, but we have a really excellent shock mount that when you look at it, you might recognize from other companies that copied it from us. We developed it, we had it first, and now you can see it on 4 other booths in the room, which is totally fine. I'm not bitter.
So the other K-series mics are more colored, if you want to say.
They are
mics.
all more colored, yeah.
Right.
And the one I'll mention, I won't go through the whole lineup, but the one I'll mention as an alternative, if you want something that gives you a little more size, heft, grit, I don't want to use the word warm because that word means different things to everybody.
Right.
And that word has been used on all of my mics, but the Mini K67X, so the X stands for transformer. This has a very different circuit and actually a very different capsule as well. It is generally neutral, but what's different about it is 2 things when I'm comparing to the Mini K87. One is, most critically, it has a 1.5 decibel scoop, 678K.
Okay.
Why is that important? Because if you have an issue with sibilance, this mic will turn it down.
Smoother, yeah.
And if you don't have an issue with sibilance, then this mic will also sound fine.
That could be a great mic with some women voice actors' voices.
Yeah, it can be. So those are the 2 that would be my top recommendation for voiceover. We also have the Mini K47 and the Mini K47X, which absolutely can be used. They have a slightly more narrow polar pattern, And so in some environments they work really well because they'll naturally pick up less reflection from around.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're also really kind of punchy. It has the capsule has a really fast transient response, which honestly on a voiceover you may not hear. You hear it on piano and drum overheads.
Right.
On voiceover maybe not so much. But yeah, top recommendation Mini K87. Next recommendation Mini K67X. And I'll also mention that last year we introduced a thing we call the Custom Shop. What that is you can choose to personalize the microphone. We have about 15 different colors. So you can get a different body color, a different kind of grill. There's black chrome, and chrome. This is the standard satin nickel. You can go through the Custom Shop if you have a color that you like or something like that. So, and if you have questions, hit me up. I own the company. I design the mics. You can go to the Roswell website, find an email address there. If you send an email, I'll get it, and I'll help you as best I can.
Thanks a lot, Matthew. Good
Right
to
on.
see you again.
Thanks, George.
Cheers. Have a good show.
Thank you.